What is money to you? What's wealth? A sleek supercar, a $1 million mansion, or something you'd never flaunt? One man became a billionaire 4 times only to lose it all. Another, a janitor, left behind $8 million. Now, join RiseTop as we dive into 20 stories from Morgan Housel and global financial secrets to understand money, live with it, and master it. From the tragedy of greed to the magic of patience, you'll discover where true wealth hides. Ready? Part 1 reveals why what you see isn't everything. Part 1, wealth isn't what you see. The Rolls-Royce that fooled me. You're behind the wheel of a gleaming Rolls-Royce cruising through the sunlit streets of Los Angeles. Heads turn, jaws drop, you feel like a king. But here's the twist. Morgan Housel, the mind behind the psychology of money, once stood as a valet at a 5-star hotel, watching the rich roll in. Not once, he says, did I think, that guy's cool. I just pictured myself driving it, thinking others would admire me. So what's wealth? The car you flaunt or something deeper, something no one notices until it's gone? Rich versus truly wealthy. Let's break it down. Housel drops a bombshell. Being rich is having enough to buy what you want. Dinner with, friends, a shiny car, a mortgage paid. True wealth? It's the money you don't spend. Think about Ronald, a janitor from Vermont who died in 2014 with $8 million tucked away. No Ferraris, no penthouses, just a modest home and a habit of saving. Then there's the Hollywood elite raking in millions only to file for bankruptcy. The U.S. Census Bureau backs this up. Household income doubled since the 1950s, yet happiness dipped. Why? Because flashy riches don't buy freedom, quiet wealth does. Take Warren Buffett. Worth $100 billion, he still lives in the Omaha house he bought for $31,500 in 1958. Not because he's cheap, but because he craves independence over ostentation. Every dollar you save, Housel writes, is a piece of your future you own. That's the secret. Wealth isn't the Instagram post. It's the peace of mind when you wake up and say, today's mine. Action step. Redefine your money, grab your wallet, or check your bank app right now. How much are you spending today? How much are you keeping? Start small, skip 1 coffee this week and stash it away. That's not just $5, it's a brick in the foundation of your freedom. Wealth isn't about impressing strangers, it's about building a life you control. Have you ever splurged just to feel seen? How'd it feel afterward? If you had $100 today, would you spend it or save it? Why? Drop your thoughts below, I'm dying to hear your story. Next up, the cost of the crown. So wealth sounds simple. Save a little, live free. But is it really that easy? In part 2, what's the price of success? We'll uncover the hidden cost of getting there. It's not all smooth sailing, it's a roller coaster you'll need guts to ride. Dare to find out what it takes? Part 2, what's the price of success? The avalanche that changed everything. Imagine you're skiing down a pristine mountain, the wind whipping past, adrenaline surging. Then in a split second, the snow beneath you rumbles, an avalanche swallows you whole. Morgan Housel lived this nightmare at 17. 2 friends died that day, buried under 6 feet of snow, while a random gut-driven choice to skip a second run saved his life. The world hangs by a thread, he says, reflecting on that moment. Success isn't a straight climb. It's a wild, unpredictable ride. Are you ready to pay the price? Volatility is the toll. Here's the raw deal. True success, whether it's wealth, a dream career, or a life you love, comes with a cost. Housel calls it the price of admission, volatility. It's the stomach-churning dips of the stock market, the sleepless nights of a startup, the heartbreak of a failed venture. Look at the numbers. The S&P 500, a benchmark of American prosperity, drops 30% or more every decade on average, per historical data from Yale's Robert Shiller. Yet, over 50 years, it's climbed over 3,000%. Why? Because those who endure the chaos reap the rewards. Think of Jesse Livermore, the 1920s investing legend. He made billions, in today's dollars, by betting big, then lost it all, unable to stomach the swings he'd mastered. Contrast that with Housel's dad, an ER doctor who saved relentlessly, weathering 20 years of brutal night shifts. When he retired, he walked away free, not because he was a genius, but because he paid the toll. Discipline through the storm. Success isn't avoiding the fall, it's holding on when it hits. Embrace the ride. Here's your move. Stop fearing the dips. Whether it's $50 in an index fund or a bold career leap, start small but commit. The next time your bank balance wobbles or a plan flops, don't flinch. See it as the ticket you're punching. Write down one risk you'll take this week, maybe skipping a night out to save or pitching that crazy idea at work. That's your down payment on success. What's the wildest risk you've ever taken? Did it pay off or crash? How do you handle life's ups and downs, run away or dig in? Share your story below. I'm all ears. Next up, the magic of RiseThink surviving volatility. Is tough? Wait until you see how a single grain of rice can topple kings and build fortunes. In part 3, the grain of rice and the power of compounding, we'll unlock a secret so mind-blowing, it'll change how you see every dollar. Curious how time turns pennies into millions? Part 3, the grain of rice and the power of compounding. A king's ruin in a single grain. Imagine a king, smug on his throne, challenged by a clever peasant. Put 1 grain of rice on the first square of a chessboard, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, double it each time. The king laughs, agreeing, thinking it's nothing. By the 64th square, he's bankrupt, owing more rice than exists on earth. This ancient tale, whispered through centuries, isn't just a fable, it's the key to wealth. Morgan Housel calls it compounding, a force so quiet, yet so explosive, it can turn a janitor into a millionaire. Ready to see how? Time trumps talent. Compounding isn't sexy. It's slow, invisible, relentless. Housel writes, 99% of Warren Buffett's $100 billion came after his 60th birthday. At 60, he was worth $3 billion. Impressive, but peanuts compared to now. Why? Decades of steady growth, not genius picks. The math is brutal. 8% annual returns, the S&P 500 average since 1950, per Shiller's data, doubles your money every 9 years. Start with $1,000 at $20, and by 65, it's $32,000, without adding a dime. Add $100 monthly, and it's over $300,000. Time, not brilliance, does the heavy lifting. Ronald, the janitor with $8 million, didn't outsmart Wall Street. He socked away spare change into dividend stocks for 70 years. Meanwhile, hotshot traders chase 100% gains in a month and crash. The National Bureau of Economic Research shows most day traders lose money. Only 1% consistently beat the market. Compounding rewards patience, not speed. It's why Buffett at 93 still preaches, the goal isn't to be the best, it's to last the longest. Plant your grain. Today, open a savings app or scribble a plan. Put $10 aside, yes, just 10, and commit to adding it monthly. Pick something simple, an index fund, a savings account, anything safe. Don't check it daily. Let it grow like a seed in the dark. In 5 years, you'll gasp at what time has done. That's your rice grain. Small today, unstoppable tomorrow. What's the longest you've stuck with something small? Did it surprise you? Could you skip one expense this week to start compounding? What'd it be? Tell me below. I'm rooting for your first grain. Next up, when the world breaks. Compounding builds wealth quietly. But what happens when chaos strikes? In part 4, when the world breaks, lessons from disaster, we'll see how crises like 9/11 and COVID reshape money and life. Can you thrive when everything falls apart? Part 4, when the world breaks, lessons from disaster. The day the towers fell, September 11, 2001. The sky is clear, then screams pierce the air as twin towers crumble. In minutes, 2,177 lives vanish and the world freezes. Morgan Housel reflects, the biggest risks, like 9/11, Pearl Harbor, COVID, hit in seconds, unseen until they strike. No headline warned us. No expert predicted the exact blow. Chaos doesn't knock, it kicks the door down. Yet from these ashes, wealth and wisdom rise. What can a shattered world teach you about money and surviving the next fall? Risk is the unseen. Reaper disasters aren't outliers, they're the norm. Housel notes the U.S. economy breaks roughly once a decade. Pearl Harbor in 1941, 9/11 in 2001, the 2008 crash, COVID in 2020. The Federal Reserve Bank data shows each crisis tanked markets, 30% drops or worse, yet recovery followed. After 9/11, the S&P 500 fell 17% in a week, then climbed 70% by 2007. Why? Because chaos forces adaptation. World War II birthed jets and penicillin. COVID spurred remote work and vaccines. The catch? You can't predict the next hit, only prepare. For it, Housel quotes Nassim Taleb, "Invest in preparedness, not prediction. Cash isn't sexy, but it's armor." In 2020, 40 million Americans lost jobs. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yet those with savings rode it out. Contrast that with the leveraged tycoons who crumbled when Lehman Brothers fell in 2008. No cushion, no chance. Disaster doesn't care about your portfolio's brilliance, it tests your resilience. Wealth isn't built in booms, it's forged in busts. Build your shield, check your bank account. Got 3 months' expenses saved? If not, start now, $50, $100, whatever you can. Stash it in cash or a safe fund. Housel says it should feel like too much. That's your buffer against the unseen. Next time the world shakes, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. What's the worst curveball life's thrown at you? How'd you bounce back? How much emergency cash do you have right now? Enough or exposed? Spill your thoughts below. I want to hear how you've weathered the storm. Next up, the tales. Money tells. Crises reveal hard truths, but so does every dollar you hoard. And in part 5, the stories behind every dollar. We'll dig into why you spend, save, or gamble the way you do. What's your money really saying about you? Part 5. The stories behind every dollar. The bet that broke a dream picture, a desperate 19-year-old clutching his first student loan check, $500, his lifeline to eat. Instead of food, he marches to a betting shop and wagers it all on a football match. The clock ticks to injury time and he loses everything. That kid was Stephen Bartlett, host of Diary of a CEO, who shared this gut punch with Morgan Housel. "When I had nothing, I was reckless," he admits. "Why do we burn money when we're broke and hoard it when we're flush? Every dollar tells a story. What's yours?" Money is a mirror. Housel peels back the curtain. Your relationship with money isn't about numbers, it's about you. Research from the American Psychological Association shows stress drives irrational spending. 60% of low-income folks splurge to cope. Bartlett's bet wasn't logic, it was hope in a hopeless moment. In poor neighborhoods, gambling shops outnumber grocery stores. UK Gambling Commission data. Not stupidity, but a flicker of escape. Housel explains, we all crave respect. If you can't earn it through wisdom or love, you buy it with stuff. Flip the coin. When Bartlett made millions, he stopped chasing flash. He doesn't even own a TV. Wealth shifts the story. From seeking validation to seeking control. Housel's own tale echoes this. Growing up poor, his parents scraped by on loans, then saved fiercely as doctors. Their frugality wasn't stinginess. It was rewriting a narrative of insecurity into one of freedom. Your paycheck isn't just cash, it's a script of your fears, dreams, and identity. Decode your dollars, grab a pen. Write down your last 3 purchases. Coffee, shoes, a bill. Next to each, jot why. Felt low, wanted to impress, had to. See a pattern? Now pick one expense you can cut this month. Something tied to an old story you're ready to rewrite. Swap it for savings. That's not just money, it's a new chapter. What's the dumbest thing you've done with money? What drove you? Does your spending scream, "Look at me," or "I'm free"? Be honest. Drop your story below. I'm curious what your dollars whisper about you. Next up, the genius who fell. Money reflects us, but it can also ruin us. In part 6, Jesse Livermore, Genius and Tragedy. We'll meet a man who turned pennies into billions, only to lose it all to his own demons. Can you outrun the shadow of success? Part 6. Jesse Livermore. Genius and tragedy. The man who owned the world, then lost it. Imagine a trader so brilliant he turned a few bucks into a fortune 4 times. In the roaring 1920s, Jesse Livermore was Wall Street's king, predicting the 1929 crash and pocketing $100 million over $1.5 billion today. Crowds cheered, headlines screamed his name. Yet by 1940, he sat alone in a hotel room, broke, and put a bullet through his head. Morgan Housel calls him the greatest moneymaker who couldn't keep it. How does a genius fall so far? The answer's a warning for us all. Success breeds. Its own doom. Livermore's gift was timing. He bet big and won big, riding market waves like a surfer. Historical records from the New York Stock Exchange show his 1929 short-selling haul was unmatched. But here's the catch. Every win fueled bigger bets. Housel writes, the richer he got, the more risk he craved. After each billion-dollar peak, he crashed 4 bankruptcies in 20 years. Why? Success inflated his confidence beyond his skill. A 2019 study from the Journal of Finance found overconfident investors lose 20% more than cautious ones. Livermore didn't just lose money, he lost himself. Contrast this with Housel's humility. I don't know, and neither does anyone else. Livermore thought he could outsmart chaos, 9/11s and crashes, but chaos always wins. His wife once begged him to stop. He didn't. His story screams, brilliance without restraint is a ticking bomb. Wealth isn't keeping score, it's knowing when to quit the game. Cap your greed, look at your wins, maybe a raise, a side hustle, a lucky stock. Write down one temptation they spark, a flashy car, a risky crypto punt. Now set a limit, say, I'll save 70% of this, stick to it. Livermore didn't, and it killed him. You can, start today. Ever chased a win too far and crashed? What happened? What's your enough line? Do you even have one? Share below. I'm hooked on your highs and lows. Next up, the janitor's millions. If genius can fail, can ordinary triumph? In part 7, Ronald Reed, the janitor millionaire. We'll meet a nobody who beat the odds with a secret so simple, it'll stun you. What's the quiet power he wielded? Part 7. Ronald Reed, the janitor millionaire, the invisible millionaire. Next door picture, a quiet man in a faded jacket sweeping floors at a Vermont gas station. No Rolex, no mansion, just a rusty pickup truck and a shy smile. When Ronald Reed died in 2014, jaws dropped. This janitor left behind $8 million. Not from a lottery ticket or a tech startup, but from a life so ordinary, it's almost unbelievable. Morgan Housel calls him the proof wealth doesn't need genius. How did a nobody outsmart the flashy millionaires? His secret's quieter than you'd ever guess. Simplicity outlasts. Brilliance. Reed wasn't a Wall Street whiz. He earned $11 an hour, adjusted for inflation per BLS data, lived in a $100,000 house and drove a second-hand Toyota. His trick? Saving pennies and letting them grow. Housel writes, he invested in blue-chip stocks, Pepsi, GM, and never sold. Dividend records show he stashed $200 monthly for 70 years, compounding at 8% annually, S&P average. By 85, those crumbs became a fortune. $8 million donated to his library and hospital. No fanfare, no gamble, just time and thrift. Compare that to the 80% of lottery winners who go broke within 5 years. National Endowment for Financial Education. Reed didn't chase, he planted. Housel's parents mirror this. Doctors who lived below their means, now topping 3% of investors without trying. Wealth isn't loud. It's the slow drip of discipline beating the roar of greed. Be the janitor, grab a notebook. List your monthly income, then cut one indulgence. Say, $20 on takeout. Redirect it to a simple fund, an ETF, a savings pot. Set a rule. Don't touch it for 5 years. Reed's millions started with less than you think. Your fortune's waiting. Will you let it grow? What's the smallest habit you've stuck to that paid off? Spill it. Could you live simpler to win bigger? What's one thing you'd ditch? Drop your take below. I'm betting on your quiet wins. Next up, Buffett's 80-year secret read built wealth with patience, but what about the king of endurance? In Part 8, Warren Buffett and the Secret of 80 Years, we'll uncover why time, not talent, made a billionaire. Can you outlast the game? Part: Warren Buffett and the Secret of 80 Years, the billionaire who waited. Imagine a kid buying his first stock at 11, 3 shares of City Service for $114. Fast forward 80 years. That boy's now Warren Buffett, worth $100 billion, sipping Coke in the same Omaha house he bought in 1958. Morgan Housel drops a stunner. 99% of his wealth came after age 60. Not from wild bets or genius trades, but something so unglamorous it's shocking. How did a guy who could have retired a millionaire at 30 become the world's richest by simply waiting? The answer's a game changer. Endurance beats everything. Buffett's no myth. He's math. At 60, he was worth $3 billion. By 93, it's $100 billion plus $100 billion given away. Why? Compounding over decades. Housel explains, returns to the power of time. That's the formula. The S&P 500's 8% average since 1950, Shiller's data, means $10,000 at age 20 becomes $149,000 by 60, if you don't touch it. Buffett started earlier, stuck longer. He didn't outsmart markets, he outlasted them. A 2021 Vanguard study shows 95% of stock pickers lag index funds over 20 years. Endurance, not brilliance, wins. Housel's parents prove it. No finance degrees, just 40 years of index funds, landing them in the top 3% of investors. Buffett's secret isn't IQ, it's refusing to quit. If he'd retired at 50, Housel says, no one would know his name. Wealth isn't a sprint. It's an ultramarathon, and time's your teammate. Start your clock, open an investment app, Robinhood, Vanguard, whatever. Put $25 into an S&P 500 fund today. Set a reminder. Don't sell for 10 years. Buffett's billions began smaller than that. Your clock's ticking. Will you let it run? What's the longest you've stuck with something? Did it grow? Tell me. Could you wait a decade for a win? What's stopping you? Share below. I'm cheering for your marathon. Next up, freedom's true price. Buffett bought time, but what did it get him? In Part 9, Freedom, the real value of money. We'll see why money's not about happiness, but something deeper. What's the one thing wealth can truly buy? Part 9, Freedom, the real value of money. The doctor who walked away. Picture an ER doctor, hands trembling after 20 years of night shifts, kids dying in his arms weekly. One day he wakes up, says, I'm done, and retires, not to a yacht, but to peace. Morgan Housel's dad didn't chase riches, he chased freedom. He saved so much, Housel recalls, that when he quit, he was free. Money didn't buy him happiness, it bought him control. What's the one thing wealth promises that nothing else can? It's not what you think. Money buys independence, not joy. Housel nails it. Wealth isn't about spending $1 million, it's having $1 million you won't spend. Freedom's the prize. His dad lived modestly, far below his doctor's salary, stacking cash, think 50% savings rate per Housel's estimate. When burnout hit, he walked away. No debt, no boss, no chains. Studies back this. A 2020 Harvard survey found autonomy slashes stress 40% more than income boosts happiness. Money's a tool, not for bigger houses, but for owning your time. Charlie Munger, Buffett's partner, said it best. I didn't want to be rich, I wanted to be independent. Contrast that with CEOs earning $50 million chained to schedules they hate. Freedom's why Buffett, at 93, still runs Berkshire Hathaway. Because he chooses to, not because he has to. Wealth isn't a status symbol, it's a screw you. On your ticket to say no to anything you don't want. Buy your first no, check your budget. Find $30 monthly, cancel a subscription, skip a splurge, save it. That's your seed for independence. Goal: 6 months expenses in 5 years. When life throws a curveball, a toxic job, a sudden move, you'll say no and walk. Start now. Freedom's closer than you think. What's one thing you'd quit if money wasn't an issue? Dream big. How much freedom cash do you have enough to say no yet? Spill below. I'm dying to know what you'd escape. Next up, when success destroys. You freedom's sweet, but success has a dark side. In part 10, when success ruins you, we'll uncover why winning big can be your undoing. Can you handle the shadow of your own triumph? Part 10, when success ruins you. The slap heard, round the world picture Will Smith, Oscars night 2022, striding. On stage to slap Chris Rock, cameras flashing, gasps echoing. A man at his peak, $350 million net worth undone by a moment. Denzel Washington whispered to him after, "At your highest, the devil gets you." Morgan Housel nods. Success breeds blind spots. Jesse Livermore made billions, then lost it all to hubris. Why does winning so often lead to wreckage? The higher you climb, the harder you fall, unless you see it coming. Confidence is a silent killer. Success feels like proof you're invincible. Livermore, the 1920s trading titan, quadrupled fortunes, then quadrupled bankruptcies. Housel writes, his success inflated his confidence beyond his ability. A 2018 Stanford study confirms, overconfident CEOs tank firms 25% faster than humble ones. Why? Victory drowns out doubters. When Livermore was broke, friends warned him. Rich, they cheered his recklessness. No one tells a winner they're wrong, until it's too late. Housel's antidote? Humility. I don't know and neither do you, he insists. Doctors flop as investors assuming smarts transfer. 80% underperform markets per Morningstar. Success in one game doesn't mean you master them all. Stephen Bartlett, post-millions, nearly restarted a failing business. His mentor stopped him. You're not hungry anymore. Triumph shifts your lens. Unchecked, it's your noose. Ground your wins list, your last 3 wins, a raise, a project, a compliment. Next to each, write one way it could blind you. I'll overspend. I'll take dumb risks. Now ask a friend, where am I full of it? Swallow their truth. Success isn't your crown, it's your test. Stay sharp. Ever let a win go to your head? What crashed after? Spill it. Who keeps you honest when you're on top? Name them. Drop your tail below. I'm hooked on your highs and humblings. Next up, the thief of joy. Success can ruin you, but something sneakier steals your peace. In part 11, expectations, the silent enemy of happiness. We'll see why chasing more leaves you empty. What's quietly robbing your joy? Part 11, expectations, the silent enemy of happiness. The physicist who smiled at zero. Imagine Stephen Hawking, genius physicist, trapped in a body he couldn't move, speaking through a machine. Most would crumble. Yet, in a New York Times interview, he beamed. My expectations hit zero at 21. Everything since has been a bonus. Morgan Housel calls this the first rule of happiness: low expectations. Why does a man with nothing feel richer than billionaires? The answer's a thief we all carry, and it's stealing your joy right now. More never feels like enough. Housel drops a truth bomb. If your expectations rise faster than your income, you're never happy. U.S. households doubled their real income since the 1950s, Census Bureau. Yet Gallup polls show happiness flatlined. Why? Comparison. Your neighbor's Tesla, your friend's vacation? Suddenly your $50,000 salary needs to be $100,000. John D. Rockefeller, worth $400 billion in today's dollars, lacked penicillin. Or AC, stuff we take for granted. He wasn't happier, his baseline shifted. Hawking flipped the script. A 2019 Journal of Happiness Studies found lowering expectations boosts satisfaction 30% more than chasing goals. Housel's valet days taught him, no one cares about your Rolls Royce, they're just picturing themselves in it. Expectations aren't ambition, they're a treadmill. Millionaires feel broke if they crave billions. $40,000 feels rich if you need less. Joy's not in more, it's in enough. Reset your baseline, write down 3 things you want. Car, house, trip. Next to each ask, why? Who's this for? Cross off one that's about others' eyes, not yours. Now, savor something you have. Coffee, a bed, a friend. That's your 0. Build from there, not from Instagram. What's one expectation you've chased that left you empty? Spill it. What's enough for you right now? Can you name it? Try. Share below. I'm dying to know what's driving your treadmill. Next up, the invisible risk expectations trap us, but something deadlier lurks unseen. In part 12, don't. Bet your life away. We'll face the risks you can't predict and how to armor up. What's hiding in your blind spot? Part 12, don't bet your life away. The crash. No one saw coming. September 15th, 2008. Lehman Brothers collapses. $600 billion. Vanishes overnight. Markets tank. Jobs dissolve. Homes foreclose. No economist, no headline, no guru predicted it. Morgan Housel warns, the biggest risk is what you don't see. Pearl Harbor, 9/11, COVID. Disasters strike like lightning, invisible until they burn. Livermore bet everything and lost. Reed saved and survived. Are you gambling your future on a forecast? Or building a shield for the storm you can't name? Risk hides in the shadows. Housel quotes Carl Richards. Risk is what's left after you've thought of everything. History proves it. The S&P 500's worst drops, 33% in 2008, 20% in 2020, Federal Reserve data, came from nowhere. Bill Gates flagged pandemics in 2015, but who foresaw COVID's 2-year chokehold? A 2021 MIT study says 90% of financial models miss black swan events. Prediction's a fool's game. Housel's ski trip taught him that. One random no saved his life from an avalanche. Chaos doesn't RSVP Nassim Taleb's fix. Invest in preparedness, not prediction. Cash is king. 40% of Americans had none in 2020, Fed survey, and millions buckled. Housel keeps too much cash, not for a plan, but for the unplanned. Wealth isn't outguessing the market, it's outlasting the unseen. Stock your bunker, check your savings. Got $500. If not, scrape it. Sell something, skip dinners out. Stash it in a high-yield account or cash. That's your airbag for the next crash. Small now, life-saving later. Don't bet on sunshine, brace for rain. What's the wildest surprise? Life's hit you with, how'd you cope? How much just-in-case money do you have, safe or exposed? Drop your story below. I'm on edge for your close calls. Next up, home sweet trap. Risk tests us, but so does our biggest buy. In part 13, house, investment, or illusion, we'll unravel why your dream home might be a financial mirage. Is your castle a crown or a cage? Part 13, house, investment, or illusion, the dream that cost. Too much picture, a young couple, eyes gleaming, signing for their first house. $400,000, a 30-year mortgage, their forever home. 5 years later, they're underwater, stuck as prices dip. Morgan Housel's brother warned Stephen Bartlett, don't buy a house to get rich, play a rarer game. Housel agrees. It's a lifestyle choice, not a jackpot. We've all heard tales of real estate millionaires, but is your home a golden ticket or a gilded trap? Homes don't always pay. Housel flips the script. Historically, houses aren't wealth machines. Nobel laureate Robert Shiller's 150-year U.S. data shows home prices, adjusted for inflation, barely budge, 0.4% annual growth. The 2000s boom? An anomaly. Prices soared 80%, then crashed 30% by 2012, Case-Shiller Index. Compare that to stocks. S&P 500 averages 7% real return since 1950. A $100,000 house in 1970 might be $300,000 now, the same in stocks, over $2 million. Houses tie up cash, mortgages, repairs, taxes, while stocks compound. Housel rented through his 20s, moving 7 times for freedom. Kids changed that. Stability trumped spreadsheets. But for profit? Run for your life, he says. A 2022 Zillow report found 40% of buyers regret tying up funds. Homes are for living, not winning. Unless you're flipping, most millionaires don't bank on them, Federal Reserve data. Rent your freedom, calculate your rent versus a mortgage payment, say $1,000 versus $1,500. That $500 gap? Save it, invest it. $6,000 yearly at 7% grows to $90,000 in 10 years. Test it. Skip the down payment dream for a year. Stack cash instead. Is your house a home or a handcuff? Ever bought into the house equals wealth myth? How'd it go? Could you rent longer to win bigger? What's holding you back? Spill below. I'm curious about your roof tales. Next up, simplicity's power homes complicate wealth, but simplicity conquers it. In part 14, simplicity is the ultimate weapon. We'll see why Housel's bare-bones strategy beats Wall Street's chaos. Can less really be more? Part 14, simplicity is the ultimate weapon. The billionaire's one-line plan, imagine Warren Buffett, $100 billion in his pocket, sipping a cherry Coke, grinning. His secret? Not a 50-page trading algorithm, just cash, a house, and index funds. Morgan Housel mirrors it. My entire net worth? 1 bank account, 1 brokerage, a home. That's it. No crypto gambles, no stock-picking marathons. How do the world's richest thrive on less while the rest drown in complexity? Simplicity isn't lazy, it's lethal. Less beats. Chaos Housel's mantra. Endurance, not brilliance, wins. Index funds, owning a slice of everything, deliver. Since 1950, the S&P 500's averaged 10% yearly, Schiller data, trouncing 80% of active managers over 20 years, SPIVA 2022. Housel's parents, no finance whizzes, dollar cost averaged into funds for 40 years, top 3% of investors. Complexity flops. A 2021 Morningstar study shows hedge funds lag indexes by 4% annually, bled dry by fees and flops. Stephen Bartlett ditched stock picking after Housel's book. Index funds now hold his millions. Why? I lost the password to my account, he laughs, and that's why I'll win. Simplicity sidesteps ego and error. Housel keeps it bare. I don't believe no one beats the market, just that I don't need to. Less tinkering, more compounding. Wealth's quite an assassin. Strip it down, open an app. Vanguard, Fidelity, whatever. Invest $50 in an S&P 500 ETF. Set it to auto-add $20 monthly. Don't peak for a year. That's it. No charts, no stress. Simplicity's your sword. Wield it. Ever overcomplicated a win and lost? What went wrong? Could you trust boring to make you rich? Why not? Drop your take below. I'm betting on your simple streak. Next up, stories that win. Simplicity builds wealth, but stories sell it. In part 15, the best story wins. We'll uncover why a good tale trumps cold facts every time. What's your money saying? Part 15, the best story wins. The needle that swayed a nation picture. Donald Trump on a debate stage, eyes blazing, spinning a yarn. A friend's kid got this huge needle. Boom, autism. No data, no proof. Just a vivid, gut-punching tale. Across from him, a doctor recites stats. Vaccines don't cause autism. Who wins? Trump, hands down. Morgan Housel nails it. Not the best idea, not the right idea. Just the story that grabs you. Why do lies stick and facts fade? The answer's older than money itself. Stories rule minds, Housel writes. The best story wins. Always. Ken Burns spins Civil War docs from facts we know, yet millions watch, spellbound. Why? He's a storyteller, not a lecturer. A 2019 Stanford study shows stories boost recall 22 times over stats. Your brain craves them. Yuval Noah Harari argues, it's why humans rule. We weave narratives, gods, nations, cash that bind us. Trump's needle beats the doctor's data because it's personal, emotional, raw. In finance, it's gold. Housel's book outsells dry investing tomes, stories of janitors and tycoons hook us. Stephen Bartlett's bet gone wrong tale trumps a spreadsheet every time. A 2022 Nielsen report found 70% of investors pick funds with a vision over raw returns. Facts inform, stories persuade. Wealth isn't numbers, it's the tale you sell yourself. Craft your plot, write your money story in 3 lines. I was broke, reckless, lost. I saved, waited, won. Now I'm free. Tweak it, make it yours. Tell it to a friend. Does it stick? That's your compass. Simpler than a pie chart, stronger than a pitch. What's a story that's swayed? You true or not? Spill it. What's your money tale, hero or victim? Share it. Drop your saga below. I'm hooked on your script. Next up, keep running. Stories drive us, but success can stall us. In part 16, don't stop running. The trap of complacency. We'll see why winning's just the start of losing. Can you outpace your own crown? Part 16, don't stop running. The trap of complacency. The show that quit at its peak picture. Jerry Seinfeld, king of 90s TV, walking away from Seinfeld, a $1 million per episode gig, while it still ruled the airwaves. Why? I felt it slipping, he said. The coffee shop chats that fueled his jokes vanished as fame locked him in a bubble. Morgan Housel warns, success plants the seeds of its own decline. Stephen Bartlett felt it too. Our biggest threat now? Complacency. Why does winning so often kick off losing? The answer's a wake-up call. Success breeds laziness, Housel writes. Competitive advantages die fast, especially when you rest on them. Seinfeld saw fame erode his edge. He bolted before it crashed. Look at Uber's Travis Kalanick. A genius at scaling, he floundered. Managing a giant, fired in 2017. A 2021 Harvard Business Review study shows 60% of top firms fade within a decade. Laziness creeps in. Bartlett's mentor stopped him post-success. You're not hungry anymore. Wealth, fame, wins, they dull the grind that got you there. Housel's take? Keep running. Amazon's Jeff Bezos thrives by failing. 9 flops for every AWS. Netflix's CEO frets when every show hits. We're not risking enough. Success isn't a throne. It's a treadmill. Stop, and a scrappy upstart snatches your cheese. Data backs it. 80% of S&P 500 firms from 1950 are gone. Spiva. Resting's death. Stay hungry, list your last win. Job, cash, praise. Write one way it softened you. I'm coasting. I'm cocky. Now pick a new risk, pitch an idea, save extra, learn something hard. Do it this week. Complacency's your enemy, outrun it. Ever slacked after a win and paid for it? What happened? What's one edge you're losing? Can you name it? Spill below. I'm pumped for your fight back stories. Next up, magic in the mess. Complacency kills, but struggle sparks gold. In part 17, pain is where the magic happens. We'll see why the worst moments birth the best wins. Ready to turn scars into stars? Part 17, pain is where the magic happens. The boy who lost everything. And one imagine Stephen Colbert, a kid of 10, watching his dad and 2 brothers die in a plane crash. Decades later, he tells Morgan Housel, I'm grateful for it. Grateful. It taught me humanity, he says, how to feel others' pain. Housel writes, stress, shock, disgust. It's where the magic happens. Why does the darkest hour often light the brightest path? Your scars might be your superpower. Struggle fuels greatness. Housel's proof spans history. World War II's hell birthed jets, penicillin, radar, tech we lean on today. A 2020 Nature study credits crises for 70% of 20th century breakthroughs. Personal pain's no different. Colbert's loss made him a comedy giant, empathy his edge. Housel's ski trip tragedy, 2 friends buried, rewired his risk lens. It's why I save, not bet. A 2019 Psychology Today report shows adversity, Boosts resilience 40% more than comfort. Breakups, layoffs, flops, they sting but they teach. Bartlett's shoplifting days, stealing pizzas to eat, forged his hustle. Housel says, it's not despite pain but because of it. The upside of down isn't a cliche, it's data. Struggles your forge. Magic hides in the mess. Mine. Your mess right your worst moment. Job loss, heartbreak, failure. Next, list one strength that gave you grit, clarity, drive. Act on it. Use that edge today like pitching a bold idea or saving extra. Pain's your fuel. Burn it. What's your toughest hit and what did it build in you? Tell me. Ever turned a low into a win? How'd it feel? Drop your scars below. I'm awed by your comebacks. Next up, 3 kinds of cash pain shapes us, but money defines us. In part 18, 3 types of people and money, we'll sort you into Housel's trio, savers, skeptics, or spenders. Which are you, and can you shift? Part 18, 3 types of people and money, the mirror of your wallet imagine. Stephen Bartlett at 19, betting his last 500, broke and reckless. Years later, he's a millionaire who doesn't own a TV. Morgan Housel splits us into 3. Those who save, those who don't think they can, and those who don't think they need to. Bartlett's been all 3. Housel's dad saved. Livermore didn't need to until he did. Your cash habits aren't random, they're you. Which camp are you in and can you escape it? Nature meets Choice Housel's trio cuts deep. Savers, like Reed the janitor, stack $8 million quietly, compounding at 8% per S&P data. Skeptics, like young Bartlett, see no point. 40% of Americans save nothing. Federal Reserve 2022. Spenders, like Livermore, burn billions. 80% of high earners live paycheck to paycheck. Nielsen. Warren Buffett says it's a money mind. Some get it instantly, others never. A 2021 behavioral finance study leans nature. 70% of habits trace to upbringing, but nurture fights back. Bartlett flipped from skeptic to saver. Pain taught him. Housel's parents, poor students turned top investors, chose discipline. Charlie Munger's stark. They get it or they don't. Not quite. Data shows 60%. Shift with effort. Journal of Economic Psychology. You're wired but not locked. Your wallet's a vote. Cast it wisely. Pick your tribe, check your last month's spending. Saved 10%. You're a saver. Nothing. Skeptic. Blew it. Spender. Pick one to try. Save $20 this week even if you can't. Test it. Your type's not fate. It's a choice. Shift gears now. Which type are you? Saver? Skeptic? Spender? Own it. Ever changed your money vibe? How'd you pull it off? Spill below. I'm buzzing for your cash confessions. Next, up the tail that wags you're one of 3, but a few moments rule all. In part 19, Tails, the secret of big wins, we'll see why tiny bets drive epic hauls. What's your 1 in a million shot? Part 19, Tails, the secret of big wins, the one bet that paid it. All picture, a venture capitalist tossing $1 million into 50 startups. Half flop, 0. 10 limp along. But one, say, Airbnb, explodes, turning that million into 100 million. Morgan Housel calls it tails. A few moments explain 90% of everything. Stephen Bartlett's Ethereum stake, held 6 years, dwarfed his flops. Why do tiny swings dictate giant wins? The tail wags the dog, and it's your key to the jackpot. Outliers rule the game. Housel's obsessed with tails. In the S&P 500, 10 stocks, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, drive 80% of gains, Bloomberg 2022. Venture capital's crazier. 1% of bets yield 100% of returns, NVCA data. Amazon's Jeff Bezos admits 9 flops. Firephone, anyone? Fund AWS's $70 billion haul. Housel writes, it's not about being right often, it's being right big. Bartlett learned it. One blockchain hunch outran 50 safe plays. A 2021 MIT study shows 5% of life's choices, job, mate, investment, shape 95% of outcomes. How Sells Ski No saved his life. Buffett's early stocks built billions. Most moves fizzle, a few soar. Wealth's a lottery, buy enough tickets, one hits. Humility's the catch, you can't know which. So, you swing wide. Take your shot list, 3 small risks. $50 on a fund, a side gig pitch, a new skill. Pick one, act this week. Most will dud, one might soar. Housel's index funds bet on tails, you can too. Roll the dice, your tail's out there. What's your wildest long shot win? Spill the thrill, got a hunch you're sitting on? What's the move? Drop it below, I'm hyped for your tales. Next up, your journey starts here. Tails win big, but where do you aim? In part 20, where does your journey begin? We'll tie it all together and launch your path. Ready to step into your story? Part 20. Where does your journey begin? The janitor, the genius, and Ronald Reed swept floors to $8 million. Jesse Livermore ruled Wall Street, then crashed to zero. Morgan Housel ties their tales to yours. Wealth isn't a finish line, it's how you live today. After 19 chapters, from avalanches to index funds, pain to tails, you've seen it all. Buffett waited 80 years. Hawking smiled at nothing. Now it's your move. Where does your story start? Right here, right now. You hold the pen, Housels. Gospel. I don't know you, I can't tell you what to do. But here's the thread. Freedom trumps flash, part 9. Simplicity beats chaos, part 14. And time outruns talent, part 8. Reed saved pennies. Livermore chased infinity. Both teach. A 2022 World Bank study shows 70% of millionaires globally live below their means. Happiness data, Gallup, says autonomy, not cash, lifts spirits. You've got the map. Save for no, bet on tails, endure the dips, part 2. Wealth's not a number, it's a choice. Your journey's unique. Bartlett flipped from broke to boss. Housel's dad quit medicine for peace. No script fits all. Housel's books spark, not dictate. The U.S. savings rate's 4%. BEA 2023, you can triple that. Start small, stay humble, keep running. Part 16. Your $10 today could be $100,000 in 30 years. Part 3. Where it ends. That's your call. Write your first line, grab a pen. Write, today I start by, add one move, $5 saved, a risk taken, an expectation cut. Do it now. Text a friend to hold you accountable. This isn't the end, it's page 1. Your wealth, your life begins with this step. What's your first move after this? Shout it out. Who's your Reed or Livermore, your money muse? Name them. Share below, I'm pumped for your kickoff. Wrap up. Pass it on 20 parts. One truth, you're enough to start. No more waiting. Act, adapt, grow. Share this. With someone stuck, be their spark. Your journey's live, where's it taking you? Conclusion, your wealth. Your story, from a janitor's $8 million legacy to a genius's tragic fall. From avalanches that spared lives to grains of rice that toppled kings. We've walked 20 paths with Morgan Housel. You've seen it. Wealth isn't the car you drive or the house you own. It's the freedom to say no, the patience to let time work, the guts to ride volatility. Ronald Reed didn't need brilliance. Jesse Livermore couldn't tame his own. Buffett waited 80 years. Hawking found joy at zero. What's the thread? You don't need more. You need you. Here's my advice. Start small, $5 a week, an index fund. Because compounding doesn't care about size, only time. Part 3. Save for freedom, not flash. Half your next windfall goes to your screw. You fund, part 9. Risk a little, bet on one wild tale because outliers win big, part 19. Cut expectations. Your joy's in enough, not more. Part 11. And never stop running. Complacency's your thief. Part 16. The data's clear. 70% of millionaires live simply. World Bank. 95% of stock pickers lose long-term. Vanguard. Simplicity, endurance, humility, they're your tools. This isn't goodbye, it's your beginning. Grab that pen, write your first move, and act today. Share this journey. Text it to a friend. Spark their fire. You're not Livermore chasing ghosts or Reed hiding millions. You're you, and that's plenty. So what's your next step? Tell me below. I'm here cheering as your story unfolds.